Hello, Money Queens and listeners. Welcome to Women Behind the Millions. Let's meet the women behind the millionaires, the women supporting, guiding, celebrating women with their wealth. You will hear from women millionaires, how they got there, what they wish they had known, what got them to be a millionaire, the emotional side, the spiritual side, the practical side of wealth. You'll also get to meet the women behind the scenes helping make it happen. Let's dive into Women Behind the Millions. I am Jessica Weaver, your host, best-selling author of 3 books, wealth advisor, and founder of the Women's Wealth Boutique. Let's start meeting the women. Hello, ladies and money queens. Welcome back to Women Behind the Millions. I am Jessica Weaver, your host, and we are in our Beyond the Broker era, our season dedicated to these incredible women who have all contributed to this mission of helping women find their independence in the financial industry and what that looks like. Today, we have a real treat for you. We have Kari Ellis with us, and even just the first quote in her chapter by Alan West says, "A job merely employs us, a career occupies us, but a passion should embrace us." And the big thing I want to get through to you ladies, all of our viewers, you're getting an inside look at what it is to be in the financial industry, why we fight for our independence. And it's not about the money. I think that's the biggest takeaway is it's not about the money. So many times we see women, they walk away from money, paychecks, security, kind of that corporate benefits, the infrastructure. They walk away from all of that. And as they're walking away from it, there's going to be a period of time where there's probably not any money coming in because they're transitioning their clients over, they're getting things set up, and they're not doing this for the money. They're doing it because they want to give their clients the highest level of service because they care. I mean, all of the decisions are such heart-led. It's because of their passion. They're following their passion and what lights you up. Now, I'm not saying that the money's not going to be there. We all know, and if you've been listening, reading any of my books, especially Confessions of a Money Queen, that when you are heart-led, the money follows. It just is not going to be the reason behind what you're doing. It's a big reason, especially at Pink Fix Productions. We view ourselves as a very ethical company where we don't even need to get paid for what we do because we love doing it so much. We love publishing books. We love validating women's stories and getting their stories out there, giving them a platform to speak their truth, to be authentic, to be unapologetically them as well. So the women, they're not doing it because of the money. They're doing it because this is where their heart is leading them, where they feel that they can serve you at their highest capacity. And yes, the money will follow. It will flow towards them, but that's not the reasoning behind it. And I think that there's something so beautiful about that. And I'm not saying money is bad. Money is great. Money helps. It's a resource. It's a tool for us, but it's not the reason that we do what we do. And that's a big difference. That's a big difference. So if there's any message to get through for this season, it is that we are here to serve you and we want to do it at our best. So with that, we're going to bring to stage our guest tonight, Kari Ellis. She is an experienced recruiter, career consultant, and industry transition expert who meets with seasoned financial professionals where they are to help them get where they want to go. She has demonstrated a history of matching qualified candidates with qualified career opportunities. She is passionate about helping professionals learn about the ways they can collaborate with herself and her team to ensure success. She loves being that conduit between amazing opportunities and talented professionals. So let's welcome to stage Kari Ellis. Hello, Kari. How are you tonight?
Hello, Jessica. I am fantastic. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of Beyond the Broker. What has the experience been like for you writing the chapter, meeting the women, kind of forging this networking community?
Great question. It's been a lot of fun. This has been an amazing opportunity for me. Truth be told, writing a book or even co-authoring a chapter was never on my bucket list in my life. So when this opportunity presented itself to me, I just couldn't say no. And it's been quite an experience. every step of the way. There were moments where it really stretched me in learning how to co-author a chapter and my writing skills, and I've really enjoyed it.
What are you most looking forward to with the book coming out?
I would say more collaboration between women in the industry. Um, I'm 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 really hoping that this hits the New York Times bestseller list. I mean, who doesn't want that, right?
Yes. Yes. Well, it'll definitely be I'm sure it will be a bestseller, at least on Amazon. We're gonna get it out there and in the hands of the right people. Our season premiere, we had Camille Roberson on, who spearheaded the project, and I said, even all of the women that I've met, and I speak with a lot of female advisors, a lot, a lot of female advisors who are daughters of advisors. And I contributed a chapter to this book too, which I usually don't do, but I felt very passionate about it because of how many women who come to me, um, or it's a kind of that father figure, a mentor, and it's a very similar dynamic, and trying to figure out their space. Hey, what am I bringing to the table? How do I carve it out for myself? I'm like, I cannot wait to get this book to all these women that are
Right.
constantly in my community as a well for it too.
Yeah, I think most importantly, to answer that question more specifically, Jessica, is the what I would like to see most come out of this book, Beyond the Broker, is how many more women this can help in the industry.
Mhm.
That really is the core of this book, and the purpose for this book is to help women that are thinking about going independent, but not really quite knowing how to get there into that space, to help them bridge that gap and get into that space.
Yes. I just had an advisor I spoke with yesterday, and she goes, "I've been daydreaming about going independent." Been daydreaming about it, and I hear that a lot, and I hope that we can keep nudging these women and giving them the confidence, the inspiration to actually move forward with it, 'cause the
Right.
daydreaming is great, but let's make it a reality.
Absolutely. Yes.
Make it a reality. Did you find writing your chapter, was it therapeutic? Did it make you learn things about yourself?
Yes. Yes, yes, and yes. There were certain aspects about it that were very therapeutic, very healing in certain aspects, in areas of my own journey, in carving out my own path. Um, and I did learn a lot. I learned a lot about various writing styles.
Sure.
And yeah, I did learn a lot, and it was something now that I too can check off of my list of additional skill sets that I've acquired in my own professional development.
Yes. Oh, very true. And what I love about our editor Hillary, she always says, "Writing makes you a better speaker." Right? It just says you find your way of storytelling. And also, I love working with Hillary because she really honors your personality, your tone, how you are coming across. She doesn't want to change you and mold you. So each chapter in this book feels very different. It has a different personality, a different energy, a different perspective, and it makes it for a very well-rounded read, but also fun and a new fresh take each chapter. So it reads quickly.
Yeah, I agree. Hillary was great to work with.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that. She's a gem.
Yeah.
Our whole book team, kudos to all of our book team getting it out there for it to. Let's do a quick video about Beyond the Broker.
If you're like many independent financial advisors that I've had a chance to talk to, going independent sounds more nuanced and problematic. Have you ever wondered what it really takes to break free from the traditional broker model and go independent as a financial advisor? My name is Camille Roberson, and I'm the founder of Atlas Park Consulting. I'm thrilled to introduce you to Beyond the Broker, Navigating Financial Advisory Independence. In this book, we've assembled top experts, myself included, to guide you from dreaming about independence to actually making it happen. We break down different RIA models, share compliance tips, and walk you through building or joining a successful independent practice. If you're ready to define success on your own terms, Beyond the Broker is your roadmap. Grab your copy now and start taking control of your future as an independent financial advisor. Get your copy today.
There it is. There's the book coming out January 30th, Beyond the Broker. Kari, among all these other incredible women co-authoring this movement, not just a book, but this movement, and being here and spending some time with us on the show as well. Well, let's dive into your chapter, Kari. I loved you sharing your own vulnerable story of your own independence path as well. And you did it you had a big career move during the loss of a loved one for it too. Can you take us into that moment?
I did, yes. It was the loss of a couple of loved ones that really brought me into this industry. My husband and I, we lost someone very close to us very suddenly and unexpectedly, and it was just truly devastating. Which led me, it really put me in a mindset of, wow, I don't want to see other people be in the same financial position that we were in. I want them to be better prepared than what we were in when we lost our loved one. And that's really what led me to this industry. And initially, I came into the industry saying, well, I just want to sell life insurance. I want to help people be better prepared financially. But when I got into the industry, as I wrote in my chapter, I joined one of the top A-rated life and annuity-backed carriers. And it was there that that carrier really opened my eyes to the multitude of boundless opportunities that this industry really has available. It went way beyond just selling life insurance to somebody. And then my father, during not very long after I joined the industry, my father was diagnosed with stage 4 terminal cancer. And it was at that point, my family learned the importance and the value of having a long-term care plan. So there again, there was another financial challenge or issue, I should say, that left me once again seeing the real value and the need for others to be financially solvent and prepared for the unexpected things in life that no one really wants to think about.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure. Devastating.
Hmm.
Right. And I've noticed so many women, it's a big second career, third career for women coming into the industry because of that experience.
Hmm.
They've gone through a tragic divorce, they lost their spouse or a parent, they had firsthand where a parent dealing with Alzheimer's or terminal cancer as well. So you can see, they really taken their pain, and I say this often on the show, and making it their purpose or passion to then help and prevent it or make it easier for other people. Not that we can prevent cancer, we would wish, but
Right.
making it easier, being better prepared for it financially, emotionally, legally too, with estate documents and everything that goes with it as well. How about mentors? It sounded like there were a lot of mentors that also helped you during these moments.
Absolutely. Early on in my training program, I was paired up with a very seasoned certified financial planner who had 10 plus years experience in the industry. I was assigned to him as a mentor, and he really, really helped me stay focused on meeting the various benchmarks and the requirements that helped me stay in this industry. And if it had not been for his guidance and his leadership and helping me stay focused on achieving those benchmarks, I was at that time, I was just, and then I write in my chapter what felt like an insurmountable amount of grief.
Yeah.
Coming into this industry really helped me stay focused and learn new things, learn how I can help people. So really, this chapter also is about how I was able to turn tragedy into triumph in helping others. And yeah, so to be more direct and specific about the mentorship, I had multiple mentors throughout my career that led to opening doors of new opportunities for me that would help me develop professionally and advance and excel in my own career.
Were a lot of them men, women? Did you have a mix of both?
I kind of had a mix of both.
Okay.
In the early years, mostly men. I had mostly male mentors help me um, achieve opportunities or open doors for opportunities that yeah, I don't know. Early in my career in this industry, I mean, I've been hearing for the past 15 years, there's a need for more women, which there truly are.
Mhm.
But in the early years, I did not have a lot of women surrounding me for mentorship.
Okay.
Um, that came later when I joined industry affiliated organizations that had mentor-mentee mentorship programs.
Okay.
And I started surrounding myself with more women in the industry. That's where more female mentorship came for me.
When you almost sought it out, you embraced it and
I did.
aligned with
Yes.
opportunities that would provide that for you too. Yeah, I've noticed that a lot, and it's great how many men are mentoring women. We need that,
Yes.
and hopefully, as we get more women into the industry, we can pay it back. Right? We have one hand getting the mentorship, and then we can pay it back so that they do have more women surrounding them
Yeah.
as well. Because we have different needs, we have different issues as we're going through it. Too. How about your husband? Your husband played a big role in your career pivots. There's one more part of your life where you're doing the long commute, which we all can relate to. Long commute, and it's a testament to how much well, if we need this job or how much we love this job that we're commuting so far.
Absolutely.
Too. Um, but he gave you some words that kind of allowed you to take a step back.
He did. I have to say, and I do say this in my chapter, that my husband has been at times my greatest opponent and at the same time my biggest advocate. And he has been my greatest supporter during my journey and my career path in this industry. And yes, he afforded me the benefit of kind of semi relocating part time throughout the week and commuting for this industry. It was a 3-year window, and it was an opportunity that I was grateful that I had the opportunity to serve and again acquire more professional skill sets and career development. But he did give me at one point after the 3 years, he said, you really need to pull the plug on this. I miss you. The dog misses you. Please come home. I don't wanna only see you on the weekends anymore. I wanna see you here all the time." And I said, "Yeah, I wanna come home too,
Mm.
but I can't come home to nothing, and I've worked really hard in this industry. I can't see myself doing anything else." And he said, "You know what? Don't worry about the money. Don't worry about anything. Just we'll figure it out. Come home." And that's where I say in my chapter, it was really the first time that I felt I had been given a free pass and permission to really kind of take a step back and look at the myriad of roles that I had served.
Mhm.
And I realized in that moment, oh my gosh, wow. I have had some excellent exposure to various channels in this industry. I feel that but what is it that I'm truly passionate about?
Mhm.
And I said, first of all, I love helping people. Second of all, I think I'm a great connector of people. And I looked at him and I said, you know what? I think my next opportunity, I'm going to create it myself. And it's recruiting. I think I'd be a really good recruiter. That's it. And I said, I'm going to start my own recruiting company right here. And it has to be a remote opportunity where I can work out of my own home office because I never want to be away from you again. And he said, "Where are you gonna find a job like that?" And I said, "You know what? I'm not sure, but I'll figure it out." And this was the 4th quarter of 2018,
Okay. Wow.
and Yeah, so it was pre-pandemic, and initially when I started recruiting, I didn't have much to rely on other than an outdated laptop and a list of names to call. And so for the first, oh my gosh, the first 18 months, all I did every day, all day was make cold calls all day, every day. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to burn myself out here. And it was shortly before the pandemic broke out that I decided to join industry affiliated organizations and start networking. And that's where I really started developing and creating relationships with women in the industry, got opportunities to participate in mastermind groups, work on task force groups together, participate in mentorship programs. It was through the industry affiliated organizations.
Wow. That is great. A lot of the big theme through the show and this book is the networking, the power of networking.
Yes.
When you're by yourself, it's like, how do I get out of my bubble? How do I expand my bubble, my reach, forge aligned connections, not just connections with anybody, but people with the same core values as well for it too. You have a great quote in your chapter. Sometimes your only available transportation is a leap of faith by Margaret Shepard. That what was your leap of faith? Right? What did you knew you couldn't do the commute anymore. You started you had a somewhat of a vision in your mind of what it's gonna be, some sort of shape. Did you have a name for the business yet? What helped with that leap?
Um, Great question. My leap of faith came from leaving the corporate world.
Mhm.
Because there were certain people in my life that were really skeptical. They said things like, "Why would you leave the stability of a salaried position with comprehensive benefits, and why would you walk away from all of that and into uncertainty?" But, I really held steadfast in my capabilities and my belief, and I am a firm believer that if you follow your passion, the money will come. You just have to figure it out along the way. I mean, it wasn't like I sat down and had a full business plan written out. I just knew it was something that I needed to do for me.
Mhm.
Um, and so that was my leap of faith of walking away from the corporate world into independence.
How long would you say, if you don't mind being vulnerable with us, how long until you got your first client, would you say?
Not very long.
Oh, yeah.
Um, it was within the first quarter
Wow.
because um, I had to be very disciplined and stay on the phone, and it's not easy to pick up the phone and call a stranger and say hello.
Not at all.
It's really not, and to continue doing that
Mhm.
again and again, it was that repetition, builds that definition, and I would say I obtained my first 3 to 4 clients within the first quarter.
Wow.
Like,
That's
it really
amazing.
did. Yeah, it really didn't take very long.
The consistency, as you said, that repetition of showing up.
Mhm.
Even I'm sure you got discouraged. What helped you get through when you felt that no one's picking up my calls or they're just shooing me off the phone?
I
What was that little thing that kept nudging you forward?
Great question.
I'm guessing it wasn't the money.
No, it wasn't the money.
Mm.
It was easier to well, I didn't wanna have to go back to corporate America. I didn't wanna have to go back to the security of a salaried position, because I knew that wasn't my calling. I just knew that I had to keep following my heart. I just knew.
Yeah.
And it was something that just kept pushing me. And of course, we all have those moments of doubts like, "Oh my gosh, what am I doing?" But I just continued to chip away one phone call at a time,
Mm.
join one of industry affiliated organization at a time, have one conversation at a time. And yes, some people are not ready and they're not open to talk to a recruiter or a career consultant like me. That's just not where they're at in their own career path yet.
Yeah.
I've had um, financial advisors that I have called on for 2 or 3 years at a time that never accepted my call, or they didn't foresee a need to collaborate with me at the time. And then 2 or 3 years down the road, out of the blue, they'll call me and say, "Hey, I'm ready to make a transition. Can you help me?"
You just never know.
You just never know.
Yeah, you don't know when is they're gonna show back up in your world, when they're gonna come back. You don't know who's watching you. You don't know who's talking about you. Right? That's the power of networking. Who's talking about you behind closed doors in the rooms that you're not even in. Or two, I feel all of us business owners at some point, at least once, we hear like it'll be so much easier to just go get a corporate job,
Yeah.
put my hours in. It was so much easier. And I remember somebody saying the difference is when you wake up in the morning, somebody else is pulling you out of bed or you're pulling yourself out of bed. When somebody else is pulling you out of bed, that's a corporate job or you're working for somebody. When you have to get yourself out of bed. You have to get yourself on the phone.
Mhm.
There's nobody else. It needs to that motivation needs to come from within. It's not because
Yes,
the job's on the line, it's because it's you, yourself. You're showing up for yourself. And that's huge. And I feel no matter what, if you are at the latter, you truly are an entrepreneur at heart, there's gonna be a moment where you're gonna have to pivot into that space. Because you're just not gonna be happy. in the other.
absolutely, absolutely. I agree. And truth be told, Jessica, I really believe that the doors of opportunity that have continued to open for me, it's been my faith is very strong in God, and I believe it's him that have really been the one he's been the one that has opened those doors for me, and he continues to lead me in directions um that I choose to follow.
Amen. I'm a big
Yep.
believer as well in that too. It's interesting you shared that. I've noticed that with a lot of our authors that they're spiritual. They're believing in something. They're believing in this greater power, this path that's being laid out for them. And I think that also helps with that huge leap of faith. Is that it's
Mhm.
faith, right? That
Yeah.
you're leaning into in your purpose for it too. Now, you talk about being a transition specialist. How do you help advisors with their transition? Um, and it starts before the transition even happens, the prep work. So, take us through what your process looks like.
Great question. Well, I do have a process that I take financial advisors through. And what that process looks like is a series of questions. What that means is I really want to peel back the layers and get to know my clients. Tell me where you've been in the industry, what you're currently doing, and what you're looking to do in your next opportunity.
Mhm.
And really dive deep into what those answers look like. Tell me about your business model currently. Tell me about the business model you would desire to have. What type of company culture, what firm or company culture do you value most? What part of that is important to you? Is it important to you to surround yourself to work with a team? Or do you prefer to work completely alone? Let's talk about that and what those options look like. So it's a whole process that I take my clients through and to help them create a roadmap and a journey that will help them in their own professional development and career advancement and create a roadmap for success.
Mhm. Yes, and asking them the tough questions. I feel that's what a good coach, consultant does. Ask the questions that they don't wanna think about.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes, absolutely. Also, questions like talk to me about the platform that you're currently on. What do you like about it? What don't you like about it? In your ideal world, what would be the perfect environment for you? How do you feel about the technology of your platform? Is it current? Are you happy with it? Or do you feel that it's kind of outdated? so there's a whole series of questions and throughout the process and learning and clients really open up. They really open up in confidential, safe spaces,
Good. They need you.
and I admire that, and I respect their privacy, and it's really the only way that I can really drill down and help be the most valuable resource to them, because as a recruiter and career consultant and transition specialist, I wanna make sure that I'm helping to navigate them and exploring the complex landscape of the industry, because there's been a lot of changes in the industry over the last 10 plus years. But I also wanna make sure that I'm helping them find the right opportunity that truly aligns with their core values and their company model and what their vision looks like for their own business. It not only has to be good for the advisor, it has to be a good transition for the clients as well.
Yes. Yes. Very true. You got to think about the clients. I remember one transition we were thinking, and this is back when I was with my father, and the one firm would not allow us to maintain one of our largest holdings. So what we would have to sell out of it, and that would cause a lot of capital gains taxes for our clients. So that's just an easy example to show. Well, that was quickly rolled out. No matter how much we had alignment with the other pieces of it, that was not in our client's best interest. And we always have to put them first. And for it too. So yeah, thank you for sharing all of that, Gary. So much to think about. How is it affecting you personally, professionally, your clients? How about decision fatigue? When people are going through that process and they have to make a lot of decisions, they also can't speak about it with a lot of people. You kind of have that confidential cone. Legally, they can't just tell anybody that they're going to make a change, their clients and whatnot. So it's a big decision, huge decision on themselves, a lot of pressure. And I've noticed that people are just getting this decision fatigue. I'm so tired of having to make all the decisions one after the next. What would you say for them?
Well, that's where I can come in as a recruiter and career consultant. I can come in and be an objective advocate for them in helping them to make some of those decisions, helping to guide them to those decisions much more quickly and maybe a little easier.
Yes. And also ones that they might not think of. That's a big one too, right?
Right.
You having gone through it, repeatable, not there's a process, rinse and repeat, all the different things. They're like, oh, I forgot about the compliance piece. Oh, I forgot about where is my website going to be hosted. I didn't even know that was a thing. Right, right. Knowing all that is huge support, Carrie.
Yes.
What do you think are some areas that advisors often don't think about or miss when they're preparing for it? Or they come to you and they almost feel blindsided by it. Can you think of any?
That's a great question. Sometimes I think that could you ask that again?
Yes. Yeah, what are the things that are overlooked by advisors? They don't think about when they're coming up to a transition. I I think probably the last piece is like, how is this affecting themselves and their employees?
Yes, that
Benefit side is one that I hear a lot about, or now I need to get my own E&O insurance, errors and emissions insurance. I'm thinking about even our advisors, some of the last minute questions and whatnot that come up for them.
yeah, some advisors sometimes get very overly focused on the transition package that they're going to receive.
Mhm.
So sometimes they tend to forget about the other nuances that are very important in addition to the transition package, right?
Yeah.
As far as, is this platform going to align with your business model?
Mhm.
That's something that really cannot be overlooked. And you're right. Let's talk about the website and how that could potentially be impacted. Things that you can say and cannot say on your website, and your employees. How is that going to affect your employees? So sometimes some of those things get overlooked. And that's where A recruiter or career consultant like myself can make sure that those things get talked about throughout the process.
Yes. I would say another one, Carrie, meet with your admin, your team, when you're going through the different, like the technology packages and whatnot, because you as the advisor, the CEO, don't see all the different workings as the admin do. What's getting pulled in from this system, what's getting integrated, what's getting populated from there, your workflows, all of that's going to get disrupted during the transition. So I think that might be one of that last minute pieces. If you're not don't have your hands in the paperwork, the workflows, your processes, all of that, bring in the team to troubleshoot. Well, how do we recreate this? How do we make it maybe it's an opportunity to get more efficient. Maybe um for it too. But I'm just thinking of one technology change that we're making and we had a call and Sarah, our paraplanner goes, well, with this technology change, well, how are these accounts that are integrated through the one tech for our planning software going to get integrated? I'm like, well, then we're going to have to reconnect everything. But there's an opportunity to reengage with those clients, go through it again, update anything in the plan. Number two, so just thinking through all of those different steps because that transition, it's not fun. It's-
No, no, it's not. And that's why someone like myself,
Mhm.
working with someone like myself as a career consultant and a recruiter and transition specialist really can help streamline the process. And sometimes it can be a very long process. And decisions, making a decision to make a transition and leave your existing platform, it's a big decision. And it's not one that should be taken lightly because it's not, you don't want to see advisors jumping from platform to platform and moving around every couple of years. You want to create a smooth transition as possible and seamless, make it good for the advisor to better position them and their clients for the future.
Yes, it's an investment into your business during this transition. It's not about the transition package. It's
Right.
about what you're able to do with it,
Mhm.
for your clients, for the business, for your vision as well. Um, for what kind of who are the ideal financial firms that you love to work with or the ideal advisors that you work with, Carrie?
Great question. I work with experienced financial advisors that are looking to make a transition onto a new platform or a different platform. And I think it's important to say here, Jessica, that given the fact that I have 15 plus years of experience in the industry, I know how to speak the industry language extremely well. I have a very thorough understanding of the different channels in the industry. So, my ability to meet financial advisors where they are and help them get to where they want to be, I'm pretty good at it. Having an understanding, it's so important to have an understanding of the different channels in the industry because not every channel is going to align with every financial advisor's vision for their business and their clients.
Yes, very true. You talk about the different channels. Let's go into them real quick. The different channels. We have some time before we take our next break. Very true. Can you explain the different pathways for an advisor in the industry?
Yes. Um, there is the career distribution channel for those experienced insurance professionals that are very life and annuity backed, a protection product focus.
Mhm.
So there's a career distribution channel. There's also an independent channel, IMO, working with IMO channels. And then on the other side of the wheelhouse, if you will, working with experienced financial advisors that are very heavily AUM focused. There is the traditional brokerage, wirehouse channel. There's the boutique style and regional firms. There's independent broker dealer platforms, in hybrid independent opportunities, as well as pure RIA space. So you have to have an understanding of
It's a lot.
each channel because if I'm the one that's being the conduit to help experienced financial advisors get to where they want to be, I have to be knowledgeable of each of those channels,
Yes.
right?
Very true. Yes, Carrie. There's a lot of different workings. There's pros and cons to all of them, whether you're more a corporate employee versus an advisor versus a CEO route, and they're all very different.
Absolutely. And there's no wrong answer because each person comes with their own unique set of goals
Yes.
and their own vision for where they want to take their practice. I'm just the conduit to help them get there.
You're the matchmaker.
I am.
And there's so many options too. So for you to vet and go through it and probably provide a few options, then you can narrow it down from there as well. And it's important, just from my own experience and working with the regulators as well. You need to do your due diligence. You need to have notes, do your research, meet in person, virtually, consistently with the different options to truly know if it's the right fit. Work with legal counsel as well to see what are the ramifications, what is and this is a big part, right, Carrie? Everybody has an agreement, a contract with your current firm. You might not remember signing it. You might not know where it is, but it is there. Dig it up. First up, dig it up, meet with legal counsel, as well to go through it.
Yeah. Yes, that's true. Dig out your old agreement that you've probably filed away or buried somewhere or haven't looked at since the day you signed it. That's important to dig that out. And you're right. Because there are a multitude of options to explore. Now, I want to just point out here, I don't take every candidate that I work with, I don't take them to explore every single channel that I just mentioned. Because some of those channels, again, they don't align with their core values. They don't align with their company vision or their business model or where they want to go. So really, it would be a waste of time to take them down a process or a channel that they have no interest in.
Yes, very true. So you already have a good idea. Similar when we work with clients, we have a good idea of what they need, where the gaps are. We don't have to go through every tax strategy or trade strategy. We kind of know where to navigate them through, which is very helpful. So you've done the back work for them
Yes.
that they don't have to try on every shop and opportunity out there as well. Beautiful, Carrie. Well, stay with us. We're going to do a quick commercial break to learn about our mastermind and gala here in New Jersey in May of 2025 and our scholarship fund, our Financial Trendsetter Scholarship Fund. Get ready, ladies, for an unforgettable night of empowerment, celebration, and community. Join us for the 4th annual Pink Fix Gala on May 14th and 15th here in New Jersey. Experience the magic of bringing together visionary women, leaders, and change makers in an evening dedicated to growth, connection, and leaving an impact. From powerful keynote speakers to exquisite dining and dancing, the Pink Fix Gala is your chance to celebrate your journey and be inspired by others. Don't miss your opportunity to be a part of this life-changing event. Tickets are now on sale, and all ticket sales go towards our Financial Trendsetters Scholarship Award. Visit pinkfixproductions.com to get your tickets today. We can't wait to see you there. And that's my mom busting to move on the dance floor. As well, we'll get Carrie. We'll get you here in New Jersey for our Financial Trendsetters event and gala. It is so much fun. We have a band from Nashville that comes. Oh, it is great. And all ticket sales, book sales of Beyond the Broker and Financial Trendsetters go towards our scholarship fund, which is incredible. It goes to a young woman who wants to study finance or economics, who wants to contribute to the industry. And Carrie, last year's scholarship went to a young woman who's going to Berkeley, and she already started a financial literacy program for young people, which is amazing because it is needed. It is needed as well.
Yes. Nice. Looking forward to it.
Well, we're at this point of the show. We're going to ask you a few questions, Carrie. The first one is, what is your Beyond the Broker trend? What are you noticing in the industry, especially when it comes to women?
I'm noticing a trend of it's trending towards the move of independence.
Mm,
I'm seeing more and more financial advisors want to make that transition into independence.
yes, I could see that. And it seems more women wanting to not be behind the scenes, but kind of embracing being the spotlight, embracing being that advisor. I think that sales conversation kind of deterred women in the past, but now they're embracing it and realizing it's a relationship business. And they're very
Absolutely.
good at it. Um,
Absolutely. Even in my own business and doing what I do, initially when I started my company, it was very transactional. And over the course of the last 6 years in building my business, I've gone from a transactional mindset to a more client-centered practice.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it just feels more flowing and just as we said before, much more heart led
Yes.
as
Yeah.
well with it too. And I see even with at the Wealth Boutique, we've had women break away from male led teams become
Mhm.
toxic environments or they just didn't align with how they were running it or they wanted to embrace other services aspects of the business that they could tie in, whether it's estate planning, insurance, more protection, more financial planning focused than just investment focused.
Mhm.
I look forward to. So it's great to see these women breaking away. They're also probably are leaving spots where they were undervalued, unseen, underpaid, and now they get to do something of their own and they can take what they wanted to take from that relationship, but they get to add everything that they felt was missing.
Yes, absolutely. They are breaking away. And it may be a situation where they're breaking away from a male team and they want to get connected with a female team, or they're breaking away from a certain distribution channel and they want to make that transition and take that leap into the independent world and be introduced to the independent channel and the options, explore their options and their opportunities in that channel.
Yes. I have a question. So I contributed a chapter to the book Beyond the Broker about multi-generational firms. Carrie, do you have any experience working with multi-generational firms and trying to please the one generation and the younger generation with a transition? Because a lot of times what I've noticed is they're valuing different aspects of that next change.
Yes. I have. Are you talking about succession, finding a successor for somebody that needs to begin their succession planning?
I'm looking at so I was with my father and my brother, and we had done 2 transitions together as a team, and what I liked about some companies my father didn't like or vice versa, so it was hard to find one that fits all of our visions, going
Yes.
forward.
Yes, to be more specific in that answer, Jessica, yes, I have seen that. I've seen multi-generational teams where the younger generation will break away from the older generation because maybe their core values don't quite align
Mhm.
or their business vision that doesn't align with the company model that they envision for themselves and their own practice. And they want to explore their own options and see what the opportunities are for them. So I am seeing that the breakaway, multi-generational breakaway.
Yes. Yeah. And in our premiere, I was talking with Cameo, I said, to me, it was kinda like my father's friend was the reef in Moana. And at some point, I had to go beyond the reef, right? That was the kind of the comfort zone, the security, and I've noticed that we even for our financial trendsetters, we have some women that are part of multi-generational firms, and being in the book was their way to set their own kind of voice, find their own voice, their own platform that they can stand on and how they wanna show up in the industry too. So, it was carving out a space where they can be themselves and work with who they wanna market with, whatever niche that is, have their own voice as well for it too.
Absolutely, absolutely. I 100% agree with that, Jessica. And that's something that I try to incorporate in my process and working with my clients is to help my clients find their own inner voice and empower them to use that voice and empower them enough to help position them to be in charge of them getting to choose and decide where their next opportunity is going to be, rather than putting them in a victim role to where they feel like they just need a job.
Yes.
That's not what this is about. It's about helping to empower my clients, especially women, and help them find their inner voice, use it, and empower them to find their next opportunity.
I love that. I love that, moving them from that victim to, I believe in you. I'm reading Mel Robbins' new book, Let Them.
Oh,
Great book. It's part of our book club, and she talks about, let's say my child has nightmares, comes into my bed each night, and I comfort them, and I let them stay in my bed. You are almost belittling them. You're telling them that they are not strong enough to get through that nightmare by themselves. And then that story is gonna play on over and over and over again. And that's what I'm picturing as you talk about that, instead of victimizing them, giving them the space, "I believe in you and you can do this, and I'm so grateful my father did this with me, and let's see where you can take it." And I he's still very proud of what I've been doing, and I love speaking with him about the industry, what they're doing, what I'm doing. We still have this amazing kind of mentorship, despite not being at his firm anymore, but it's great when you can give them that space
yeah.
to really grow into themselves
Mhm.
instead of kind of being in the shadows of them. As
Right.
Well, we have one more question for you, Kari.
What makes you a woman behind the millions?
Great question. I love that question. What makes me a woman behind the millions is that I collaborate with other women behind the millions.
Yeah. Very true. That's huge. That's why I've always wanted a community to be part of, because when I reached out to women when I was new to the industry, they did not have time for me.
Yeah.
And it broke my heart. But it was a different time where women really felt like they had to fight for their spot at the table, and there's only room for one woman to be successful, where I feel is such a different and refreshing energy now, with women like you, Kari, coming together and say, "I'm good at this. This is what I would love to have strategic partners with, and we can share best practices. We can learn from each other. We can grow personally, professionally." It's amazing to see. So thank you, Kari, so much for wanting to collaborate with other women.
Oh, well, thank you. Yes, absolutely. It's my way of giving back to the industry and to the community of women that I collaborate with. And you're right. We are breaking free of the mindset of, oh, there's only room for one woman to be the leader or be the winner here. That's not true. We have created a community and a tribe of women that help continue to empower one another, lift each other up, help with the professional development and growth, and want to see everybody succeed.
Amen. Beautiful place to wrap up our show tonight. It's been a pleasure, Kari, talking with you on all things taking the leap of faith, mentorship, those big transitions, what to think about, multi-generation firms we touched on as well. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of Beyond the Broker. Cannot wait to get this book out to everyone. And thank you, ladies and money queens, for watching Women Behind the Millions. Your support is huge, and our goal is just to educate you and empower you all throughout it. All right. We'll see you next week on Women Behind the Millions. Hey, money queens, looking to get your wealth to that next level, 7, 8, 9 figures? Follow us on Instagram at PinkFixMyMoney and at Women's Wealth Boutique for more millionaire money tips.